My favorite Japanese game show, by the way, Fight the Sausage.
Faturday Omaha.
Eat this.
I mean, we could start a beard podcast, but I think you and I may not fit that bill, really.
Yeah, it'd be kind of tough.
But there is one thing we do know,
Yes.
and that we're experts at,
Yes.
and we're certified professionals.
Yes.
It's talking about food.
It's true. I believe NP Dodge has written about us,
It's
and
a top 15 podcast in all of Omaha.
I believe we were at the Taste of Omaha.
Accolade!
And I believe if you go to several establishments around this town, like Block 16, Ted Wally's Smoke and Barrel, and Pudgy's Pizza, you might see our sticker on the door.
What?
I know. It's crazy.
So that brings us to Faturday, is that what you're saying?
It does, because that is what today is. Faturday. That day when we eat food. Lots of food.
I'll say I eat food every day, but
That's true.
Saturday especially.
It is, and it better be tasty on Faturday, and it better be big. So
Let's talk about
Indeed.
that thing you just said. Where we ate. Was it
Tasty?
tasty? Was it delicious?
Was it food?
Was it food?
Oh, was it hair?
Or was it Soylent Green?
Oh dear. So the
It's Weebles! No, sorry, not Weebles.
So the Faturday Troop, this time out west and to the northwest areas today.
Yeah, kind of an area we don't visit that often.
That's true, because this is very north and very west, roughly 168th and Maple,
Yeah.
to a strip mall compound. Many different little things located within, and per the moratorium that we have placed on saying, oh, it's a strip mall.
Per the last episode.
That is correct. So there's a lot of things in these strip malls, but Porky Butts, which was our location, is a newcomer, as I believe they were a food truck and just recently turned into a brick and mortar location. So, yeah.
Dave,
Yes.
you've been wanting to go here for a while.
Well, that's because it's a new barbecue place, and I like barbecue, and I like new.
Is this the barbecue and cheeseburger podcast? Because I'm starting to feel like it is just a smidge.
Well, besides 156th and Maple Street, should I tell the people precisely where it's located for the benefit of GPS out there?
Or if you want to send them fan mail or Christmas cards or
Right.
what have you.
Wait, are we switching to GPS coordinates now?
No, certainly
We're
not.
going to
but-
get latitude and longitude?
No. But you got to plug an address into your GPS for it to do things, right? So
True story.
unless you just speak to it and say, "Find me Porky Butts," but that could be dicey on Google. Just saying. So, all right, Porky.
Takes you to 18th and Leavenworth at 3 in the morning.
Oh my!
Wait a minute, is Porky Butts us?
Maybe you were fearing what we would become.
It's the mirror. It's the mirror.
They should put one of those funhouse mirrors at the front so you
Look
can
at
see
you,
your own
fatty.
Porky butt.
All right.
So,
Dave, where are they located?
roughly 156th and Maple.
but exactly, though.
Oh, that, yes.
You're getting there.
It's true. 15475 Ruggles Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska.
That's
hello?
good to know.
Hi.
Moving on.
Yeah. You see anything missing?
I do see something missing.
I if only there were a postal identifier. You know, it's ironic is I think there's a post office within reasonable proximity to this place, but
Not today.
Well, then they'll figure out how to get it there.
not today. So, but I
Did TJ make a call out and said, "Hey, we're coming in, and please don't include the zip code"?
please erase
on
the zip code from the receipt, so Dave can't read it.
Yeah.
There's only one thing though.
What?
I've done
Homework.
homework and industrial espionage and reconnaissance.
Yeah.
And the zip code is, in fact, 68116. There it is.
Attaboy. Yes.
Yes. Oh, it's there. It's there. Look at all the non-drama that has been placed on the
Did
zip
you
code.
see
of
the
this
frowl
episode.
on that boy's face?
Did you say frowl? Is
There's
that a
a
frown
frowl.
and a scowl in
Yes.
one?
You like
the
that?
frowl.
Frowl. Look at that.
I'm just sad that if we're doing that, we're only doing 5-digit zip codes.
Oh.
I feel like you're slacking. That's where your reconnaissance leads you. I'm
man. He's
disappointed.
like,
This is not the podcast I thought it was.
This isn't.
He
the
didn't go
podcast
deep
you're
cover. He just went. He got the basic essentials and got out.
I just drove by in an unmarked car with the windows tinted and
Hollered. Said, "Hey, what's the zip code over here?"
right, and they're like,
What?
"Why, buddy? 68116." Like,
Thank you.
And then you just screechy tire smoke. So that is where they are.
See what you get when you don't want a zip code? You get a whole spiel.
That's like a 5-minute
Just give us our fun.
I'm still missing everything after the hyphen.
That's fine. We don't want it. We really don't want it.
So
You say it like I didn't want that much. I'm still waiting for more.
Oh, boy.
oh man. So
My hunger is unquenchable,
The frowl.
unslakable, if
The
you will.
frowl.
slakeable.
So continue. Well, we walk in.
We walk
and
in.
there is a giant
yes,
12-foot menu, maybe.
it's a big menu. That might be one of the largest on the wall menus I've ever
It
seen.
is without question the largest single-page menu I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the nice part is I have seen restaurants where as you wait in line, they post the menu multiple times so you can see it walking through the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you could see this from the parking lot.
You can probably see it from like a couple blocks away.
156 maybe. Yeah.
definitely.
It's big. You will not miss it. And it is divided up into several sections. They have a couple sandwiches. They have some appetizers. They have meat plates. And I would say a good standard barbecue division of foods, so you kind of know where you want to go.
What I would say is they have some standard fare.
Yes.
They also have some not standard fare.
Oh,
some,
yes.
Some little bit of exploratory meats,
And
if
this
you will.
is-
Not saying that it's like
Yeah.
it's ostrich or anything.
Right.
They got your turkey. Not every place has turkey. They've got-
Catfish.
they got the catfish. They had the sausage. Mostly you just get the brisket, the pulled pork, and ribs.
Yep.
Usually that's what you get baseline.
They had
Brisket, pulled pork ribs, and sausage if you're lucky.
Sausage if you're lucky.
And they had a couple types of sausage. So that's what I was going to get to, where the menu physically is large and in a standard format. There are some unique things, which is what interests me, because I saw the appetizer list, and then we got in there, and I was looking at these sandwiches, and I'm like, this is some unique stuff here. Like one of the things we did not order, so I wouldn't mind trying, is the barbecue boudin balls that they have out there, the rice pork fried cheesy thing. And I'm like,
Agreed.
I never even heard one of them. So, okay.
Very agreed.
Right. So after you proceed past the gigantic menu, then you go up to the counter and order your food.
Counter service place.
Yes. Then they give you a number, you go get your beverage, and you sit down, and then they bring you food.
Should all do actually? I can't think of any barbecue spot we're actually waited on.
No, except
Well,
for
I can
industrial,
think of-
horrible
I was
places.
gonna
I'm
say,
not
I can
talking
think
about
of one
places that
that's,
have died.
well known,
like good barbecue
famous
places.
even.
Yeah.
But of all the places where I've had good
Named
barbecue,
after someone
it's-
sitting at this table. Is that what you're saying? I don't count
I've had
that.
Good barbecue. Yeah, nowhere has been table service.
Yeah, Popular Sam's is I don't like that barbecue at all. It's
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Popular Sam's.
Popular Sam's.
We don't mention that name.
No. So the
Infamous TJ's.
It's infamous TJ's.
I would eat at Infamous TJ's all day. The actual seating area, though, there's a lot of spots to sit at.
I'm gonna go ahead and compliment the seating thing. There are table sizes of all variances.
Yes.
There's 2 tops, 4 tops, 6 tops, 8 tops, 2-seater booths, 4-seater booths, and 6-seater booths.
Right.
They have quite the selection for sitting.
And for large, hungry individuals, I think our booth was a good size today. And I would say it's a 5-person booth. And you're like, wait a minute. I thought that you would have an even amount on either side. How does 5 people work if the benches are the same size? That's because if you're about 1.5 or 1 1/4 size people, you'll take up enough room that it'll seat that amount of people comfortably.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's really fair.
Food math. So plenty of room, comfy seating, and kind of a I think red is their color.
Red
and
decor.
black.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
is where they
very
go.
pro Nebraska, I would say.
Yeah, well,
Why
yeah,
not?
I guess yeah. So red it is, and that's that. So now,
Yeah.
now
That's the place.
gentlemen, we dine.
We dine. Let's talk about food.
But when we dine together.
True.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you guys go first because you guys got an appetizer, yeah?
Yeah, TJ and I were in line hemming and hawing while Sam was being decisive because we were trying to plan our plan of attack.
Yeah, you were just being scientific.
It really was.
We need to call it as it is. You're just out here doing science.
There were weights and measures to be calculated. So
Well, and there was waffling, and boy, does that sound good about now.
There's waffles. I didn't see waffles.
I didn't see
I
waffles
know.
there.
But there was some going back and forth on just how much science to do, because we've had this problem where we need to order all the things.
Everything.
And the barbecue menu itself is just extensive enough, and at barbecue pricing, which we will, of course, talk more about later. But it's difficult to go through all the things and not walk out spending a great deal of money because that's the way barbecue works. So we have the standard barbecue fare, which would have run into a fair amount on its own, and then we have things like the black-eyed pea dip, which I'm curious about the black-eyed pea dip. Black-eyed pea, sausage, jalapeno, tomatoes, quote, cooked to perfection, served with homemade kettle chips, fried okra, the poutine balls. There's a whole bunch of things on this starters menu, but what we ordered was the Texas poutine.
The Texas poutine, which in name alone was interesting.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a way south for its namesake. Well, one of its namesakes, anyway.
True. Yeah, the Texas part is real close to the poutine part, maybe slightly north of Texas.
Indeed. Homemade kettle chips piled with chopped brisket or pork, cheese sauce, bacon, green onions, and barbecue sauce. Dave,
Yes.
you want to take the first shot at this?
I sure will. So we decided to get it with the pulled pork, which worked out well because on the main plate I got different meats. So the appetizer, or shareable as they are called on the menu, allowed us to give this a shot and share stuff. So the pulled pork on there I thought was moist and delicious. The barbecue sauce was present. The cheese was present. I thought that was really good. The bacon I didn't really notice in there that much.
I completely forgot it was there until reading it just now.
Indeed. So and that's not an or on the menu. That's and bacon, a meat and bacon.
See,
I
once
meat
again.
and the bacon and the bacon.
Indeed, it is amongst the common items. There are no Boolean operators to speak of.
Ooh, wow. Well done. So the and it may have been chopped bacon lost in the sauciness of the cheese and barbecue sauce which was in there. And I will tell you, the homemade chips, I liked these chips. These chips harken back to a barbecue chip that Sam used to eat on a somewhat regular basis, or I guess maybe I did at a former barbecue location that is closed currently. Indeed. So, yeah. So the thing is that
Is that nostalgia taste I was thinking of when I ate those chips? Because I'm like, what's this familiarity? I've had something like this before.
That's why before your food showed up, I'm like, I really want to hand Sam one of these chips for this reason and this reason alone. I mean, it's a really good chip, of varying sizes. Clearly, not an industrial, perfectly round chip. Some were thin, some were not, some were folded, some were not. Fried perfectly, seasoned perfectly. I will just say that I liked this thing, TJ. You can add some color commentary here, but this was good, man. It was a great shareable thingy.
See, and I have overall, I'm going to give it a pretty medium rating. Again, we will get into this more on taste and all that, but overall, a fairly medium rating. The components, however, the chips, absolutely, I would order the chips on their own.
Yes,
those were quite good. They made me happy in my my tongue and tummy.
Superior chip.
Yeah, the bacon I did not notice at all. The pulled pork was the correct choice for this. And I didn't notice a whole lot of smoke. It didn't need it for this application necessarily. I might have liked a little more texture-wise, moisture content, good. Flavor, yeah, it was there. It didn't make me terribly sad. Making up for the unnoticed bacon, the cheese sauce.
Yeah.
If this was pre-made, I couldn't tell. It seemed fresh-ish. It may have been an in-house made if it was, canned or bottled or some such thing. I couldn't tell you, and it was of very good quality. I wouldn't mind just a side of that and the chips.
Yeah.
The pulled pork was a nice addition.
Yeah, it could have been chips, cheese sauce, and bacon.
Is it a Beyond Fry? I don't know. Cost to size and satisfaction ratio, I don't know if it's entirely there, but it was pretty good. And for an appetizer, specifically for two, I think it was well sized. Could have done without the green onions, of which I am usually a fan. I just don't think they belonged here. And the barbecue sauce, I'm certain it was there because I could see it.
Oh, I had it.
It wasn't that noticeable. I thought about throwing some more on. But
I think that's
I ain't
okay.
mad at it.
I think that's okay because they give you an extra bottle at the table, so if you don't have enough, you can add more. I was happy with the level on this, and actually comparing it to like a Beyond Fry at Beyond Barbecue, I'm gonna go that this is kind of on par. It's good. It's good, and the chips definitely stood up to the wet ingredients very nicely.
They did, actually. That was a very nice surprise because that could have gone terribly terribly wrong. But yes, they stayed good and crisp.
Yes, indeed.
So net positive,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it was tasty. I liked it.
There's the Texas poutine for y'all.
Indeed. So, Sam, did you eat some food?
I ate food. No types of appetizer, but we'll just hop into what I ate here.
All right.
I had. Well, actually, let's go over my process here.
Okay.
I was at a crossroads. I stared at that menu for a good 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Said, I want to do science here. I want to figure this place out. I want to know what this place has to offer. And I looked at the menu and I saw the meats and I saw familiar things. I saw catfish, and I'm hoping that's smoked catfish. I'm guessing it would be smoked catfish.
I would think so.
And I was like, man, that sounds really good. But then I don't get to get the 3 solids, the briskets, the pulled pork, and the turkey. Then I'd have to give up one of those. And then I'd be sad because I didn't do science on all the 3.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw signature dishes, and I'm like, maybe I should go that route. So I did. And I don't know if I made the right choice.
Oh.
Because
Interesting.
it's a signature sandwich called the Tank.
The tank.
Now, I'm going to tell you about this tank and what's inside of it.
Okay.
The ingredients are as follows. It is a sandwich. So there's that.
Step 1.
Inside the sandwich, we have chopped brisket, jalapeno sausage, and cheese sauce on a toasted jalapeno cornbread,
Whoa.
drizzled with spicy barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, that's a neat little invention.
Indeed.
I need to try this.
Yes.
Let's start with the bun holders.
Yes.
The buns.
That is a surprising expression for what I was seeing on your plate. I am listening with rapt attention.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say the barbecue holders, not the bun holders. The barbecue holders is what we'll call these.
Barbecue holders. Okay.
They were reminiscent of a grilled cheese type substance.
All right.
A very buttery, toasted thing.
Good.
That
I think.
I couldn't tell if it was cornbread or not. Just felt like bread,
Okay.
but barbecue, or not barbecue, but grilled cheese bread.
All
Yeah.
right. Crunchy-ish on the outside?
Yeah, it was crunchy. It was
Okay.
fine. It was buttery. I don't know where the cornbread came in on that.
Gotcha.
So kind of confused my face.
Okay.
The chopped brisket, couldn't really tell it was there due to the fact that the jalapeno sausage is a very, very, very powerful component.
Ooh, I see.
The sausage is a very spicy thing, even when it's not hot. You know, it has spice and taste.
Makes itself known by itself.
Exactly. So
Okay.
you're putting that over brisket as in 2 big, long logs, and you're just putting pieces of brisket on there.
Uh-huh.
Where's the brisket, bro? You can't taste it. The jalapeno sausage overpowers the brisket that's on there. I did do a small bit of science because second sandwich kind of happened. Not really. And for those who don't know, because this is kind of an earlier podcast reference nomenclature type thing, second sandwich is when things fall out of your sandwich and then you eat it afterwards. It's a second sandwich.
Right.
I only had like 2 pieces of brisket that fell out. Everything else stayed together. So the brisket, after going to Smoke and Barrel, all briskets pale in comparison, and I'm sorry. It was okay. It wasn't. I've had, I think, better in better places. And the fact that the sausage took away from my experience on that chopped brisket kind of made me sad. The cheese sauce was cheese sauce. It was pretty good. It was thick. It was creamy. It was a good strong cheese taste. Everything that a cheese sauce I would want should have been. It played nice with the sausage. Can't say that it played much with the brisket because there was.
Sounds like the sausage was like the power punch on the sandwich.
It was, and the skin on the sausage. It was very thick sausage chew, which I thought was weird.
It was a thick casing. I think TJ got some, so you talked about that in a minute. But yeah, I could see that where you need a lot of.
I did.
on
I
that,
had
yeah.
I had to bite and tear and pull. There was not a lot of snap to it.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that because visually, the big, yellow slices of cornbread-esque material with the X of sausage marking the spot, it looked neat. It looked really interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, I got to wonder about the balance. Like, when you get that piece of bacon on the bacon burger and the whole thing comes out whether you want it to or not. Didn't know if you were experiencing that.
I did have to fight the sausage to stay on the sandwich. It was kind of rough.
I gotta say, your years of training in
Favorite Japanese game show, by the way, Fight the Sausage.
I think your years of training in burger reconnaissance and shall we say burger wrangling
Okay.
have paid off because you've eaten some pretty large burgers. There's only one burger I've seen you eat with a fork, and that was very recently. Typically, you can handle things. The burger mitts, meaning your hand holding this sandwich. I looked over, and it's not a small sandwich, and
No.
and your Sam mitt is on this thing. You had a good hold on it, but I could see where it would become a fight.
It was.
Yeah.
So, and this is drizzled with spicy barbecue sauce. I didn't taste barbecue sauce anywhere in there.
Oh my.
So I had to make my own barbecue puddle, if you will.
That's okay.
And dipped
Yeah.
in there, so
All
that was fine. The heat level on this, not too bad. I didn't get sniffles or watery eyes or anything. I knew there was a little bit of bite in there. It was an okay sandwich.
right.
I think I wanted to like it a lot more than I want, or than I ended up liking it.
Okay.
I wish the chopped brisket would have been way more prevalent, and there would have been a balance between the jalapeno sausage and that brisket.
Like kind of a 2 meat on a bun, and you got like 1.5 meat on a bun type situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
Okay.
here's some chopped brisket garnish.
Much like if they were to say I'm putting chopped bacon on it, like that's what you got, but in like here's a dusting of brisket.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
and I know that's not what was on there. I just maybe their brisket isn't that flavorful. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But the sandwich is okay. I think it's a misstep on my ordering. I really should have went with the 3 meat combo to do some proper science on what they offer as a whole.
I see.
But did I like it? Relatively, it was a good. There was nothing bad about it. It's just the balance was wrong.
Got you.
So I wish I could have had a more properly exploratory tongue adventure.
I see. Well, yeah, because especially, and you're a fast eater. This is documented as well. You got through that thing, and that was not a small sandwich, but you got through it real quick. And I don't know if feel bad is the right word exactly, but I sat there and I'm still eating, and like you're kind of done, and I'm like, oh, he's done. He's done.
Yeah, I was. And then just to lightly touch on the chips, you guys probably nailed all the highs and lows, but I enjoyed these chips. And as soon as I put it in my mouth, I'm like, I know this chip.
You did.
I know this chip. Mm-hmm. It makes me feel happy. Mm-hmm. Why do I know you? And then you nailed it. Rest in peace, Rizzo.
There you go. And that's why I was like, I need Sam to have this chip. If you didn't get him, I would have had to.
Yeah, it's a scholar
throw it
move.
away. Very good. Okay, so now that Sam's sandwich is over,
Yes.
TJ and I can talk about some meats because
Sandwich is over.
because we ordered food, and this is after the Texas poutine. So I will. Do you want to go first there, Teach? I think I feel that somehow you usually go last for some reason on this type of thing. So you want to rock it?
All right, sure. Well, here is the question of the day.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go down the line entirely, like through the entirety of this 3 meat and rib happening, or do you want to pass it back and forth on individual meats?
I think you just tell me about your plate, and I'll tell you about my plate.
All
We'll do
righty.
that.
Well, let's go down this then. So we got a half rack of ribs that we split between us.
We did.
And we each got a 3 meat. I got the brisket, jalapeno sausage, and smoked sausage. Sides were mac and cheese and cucumber salad. So the brisket, touching on what Sam said, yes, Sam, this was indeed less flavorful brisket.
Okay.
Was it terribly so? No, it was pretty darn good on its own. It was definitely moist, and it was fatty without being too fatty, so it had a good content there. A little bit more of a subtle brisket. Again, the smoke ring looked very good. It wasn't very strongly smoked, however. I could see being in the mood for this every now and again. However, it's not the ridiculous, flavorful, fatty goodness of Smoke and Barrel, nor is it the interesting, slightly more lean, kind of more tightly packed, fruitwood smoked wonderfulness done at Big Green Q either. I hate to say it's middle of the road because the texture was really good. Again, I could see being in the mood for it, but was it stellar and outstanding compared to some of the other options? No, just a decent, moist, fairly tasty brisket. The 2 sausages, jalapeno and smoked, both good. Again, I didn't notice hardly any smoke in the smoked sausage at all. And while I'm willing to do that on the pulled pork and the brisket, letting the flavor of the meat come through more than the smoke is an artistic decision, if you will, and I am okay with it. I could see wanting specifically that from time to time, or that being a style that one would go for. On sausage, however, it's sausage.
Yes.
Those spices come through. As you pointed out, they overpowered a number of things. There's serious flavor to be had there. There should be a fair amount of smoke in my smoked sausage. And there was not, so that's a criticism. Was it good? Yes. I would order the sausage again if I went. Both kinds, not so much. It really is, if it's not the exact same base set of spices, type of meat, whatever, it's very similar. So whichever one you think you are more in the mood for, smoked or jalapeno, would be the one to order. There's no need to go for both types, despite the attempt at science here. The mac and cheese, I would say, is the correct mac and cheese for a barbecue place. Fairly cheesy, fairly good. I suspect the same or a very similar cheese sauce to that which was on the Texas poutine.
Can I weigh in on the mac and cheese since we both had it?
By all means.
Oh, okay.
I'll shoot a third shot because I had it too.
Awesome. I agree with you. I think while Sam and I think typically prefer a very saucy mac and cheese, at a barbecue joint too, it can be not as saucy. I thought it was tasty, and I would like to compliment them on it was hot. It was nice and hot, and I like it. It was not curdled, and I thought it was tasty. It was a simple mac and cheese, macaroni and cheese, and it was good.
Yeah,
that is what I thought.
I would say barbecue joint side. This is what I'm looking for when I order mac and cheese.
And a good sized side, I think.
I would like to say it was very creamy. Very creamy. Cream blanket is what I'd like to say. It
that
was
sounds
very
comfortable and delicious.
not soppy, not soupy, not saucy, just very, very creamy.
Creamy. It is a creamy mac and cheese. Yeah.
I would say the cheese flavor is not a poignant or sharp cheese. But
Yes, it's
definitely
very mild.
Very mild, mellow cheese flavor.
Yes.
While not the best mac and cheese, and definitely not the worst, it is a par mac and cheese, and it served its purpose.
Yes.
It did a good job at what it was supposed to do.
I think it is a Faturday level mac and cheese, and what I mean by that is at a restaurant I'm going to for a Faturday, if this mac and cheese shows up, I'm okay with it as a side, is what I'm trying to say.
I would like to second that motion.
Excellent.
Thirded.
All right.
And would order again.
Very nice. Carry on, sir.
The only addition there is then the cucumber salad, which...
Which I can back with.
Ooh,
Yes.
All right, share, gentlemen. I'm curious. It looked good. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It's an interesting side, something a little bit fresher without being, a side salad. And it's not that I hate a side salad, but this was a nice, it was something you could kind of sink your teeth into. There was enough of it. It was interesting enough. Starting off with what I'm pretty sure were not pickled, but vinegar-soaked, rather, cucumber slices.
Yes.
Which is one of my favoritist things ever in the summer. It is a great addition to barbecue. Then take that with it was a mayonnaise base, but a very light one.
Mayonnaise base.
It was not super creamy. It wasn't super strong.
was more
Mostly
wet.
It just kind of lightly coated the cucumbers. It was
A dressing?
Yes.
not even quite thick enough to be a dressing, I would say. It was
Okay.
very, very thin. So for someone like yourself, Dave,
A glacé?
who, would go against quite,
Is it a glacé?
who would dislike
Glacé.
a creamy white sauce type thing, I think you would
I'd be
still
okay
be
here.
okay with
Yeah,
this.
I think that's true. It's very true.
I like that.
It's if we thought of it like a coleslaw and went on the vinegar or mayonnaise based tip, it's almost more vinegar base, even though you can visibly see the mayonnaise there.
Got you.
In addition to that, some what I think was pickled onion, definitely a fair amount of dill, and some sort of heat in the background that I couldn't quite identify that you just caught a little bit of on the back end.
The rear window defrost of heat was on this.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
I would like this to be in more places. This is an excellent side for barbecue. I wouldn't mind like a large quantity of two meats and then a vat of this.
It's a wow.
He's not wrong. It's like the perfect complement. You've got your sweet and your salt. You've got your meat and your veg, if you will.
If you will.
Very fresh tasting. My only qualm with this is it was nice and crunchy. It was a green thing to help digest
Yes.
Give you that fresh flavor. But
Yes.
I think the vinegar profile was just a tad high, just a little bit. Dial that back just a smidge. Maybe throw a little mayo to balance
Maybe
out the
a tiny bit
vinegar
of sugar?
flavor. I don't, not sugar necessarily. No, just something to.
It was very acidic.
It was very bitey.
See,
Very
and
bitey.
I like face punching Italian dressing, so that
So
might be
you,
right
you
up my
probably
alley.
like this.
Yeah.
But I didn't dislike it though. I just if
Yeah.
I had my way,
I got you.
I would have dialed back just a bit.
Got you.
That said, I wonder if the sandwich doesn't slightly taint your thinking on that, just because
I'm going to go ahead and
it's
say
good-
it was
it's good-
seconded by my partner upstairs. She had the same thing. She said the vinegar was too much. She actually added a little cream to it.
I think your sausage in the foreground and the brisket way in the
Chocolate covered fudgesicle.
you're going to have to edit that one.
They'll have to know what you said first.
Bad habits.
Back in your chocolate-covered fudgesicle.
I would say with the sausage in the foreground and the brisket way in the
Chocolate covered fudgesicle.
What was that, TJ?
nothing. With the sausage in the foreground and the brisket way in the background, you didn't have a need to cut the fattiness.
Yeah, way in the.
Chocolate covered fudgesicle.
Yes.
With all of that at play, you didn't have that need to cut the fattiness, whereas I had piece after piece of fatty brisket, so the vinegar was more welcome from that angle. And I also like the face punch of a very
Well,
zesty
see, that-
Italian dressing. So
that's that.
differing
I
opinions.
like it.
yes.
Differing opinions. This
But
is good.
I did like it to cut the fat of the barbecue. I thought it was a nice addition.
Fair enough.
Cool. Is that all?
That is all
That's
the
your plate.
things.
Wow.
What you eat?
Well,
Yeah, did you even eat today or what, bro?
I did.
oh, okay.
I am also still aware that I ate.
Let's talk about that.
So, the mac and cheese we described. I'm going to jump over to the ham real quick. They have a.
Did you go ham?
I did kind of go ham, and then I got
Hey.
dangerous.
Let's get dangerous.
So I did go for a
Fat
three-meat
wing
also.
what? Sorry.
Whoa. So 3 meats. I got the brisket, burnt ends, ham, and then mac and cheese, and the baked beans, and some cornbread. And then TJ and I also had another meat after that, which we have yet to talk about.
Indeed.
Ah,
But
okay.
Dave, could I put in a request?
Sure.
Tell us about the ends.
The ends.
And
So I will tell you about the ends and the brisket at the same time. They were very similar.
weird.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. I like the brisket. As you said, TJ, the brisket was moist. It had a bark on it. It had a nice visible smoke ring. Actually, the burnt ends had a really nice picturesque smoke ring. But it wasn't intensely smoked, which I'm kind of good with. I don't want to just taste firewood or whatever. So that's good. But it is a very mildly flavored brisket. Good with a couple bites by itself, and then good with some barbecue sauce. The burnt ends were very similar. Also, I didn't feel that they were like a burnt end might be really charred or maybe sauced and charred again. Not such the case. It was kind of a brisket cube, so it was very similar but tasty. Yes, TJ.
Oh, nothing. I had thought of a couple of things, but
Oh.
decided not to say them.
Okay, right on.
Your facial reading is excellent, but I was going against it.
Got you. So yeah, the brisket and the burnt ends were actually kind of similar. I did enjoy them both. Super meaty, not thin sliced and not chopped. I like a good thick slice of brisket, and these were big burnt ends. I think there were 3 burnt ends on this plate, but they were big. So it was tasty. I enjoyed both the sassy and mild barbecue sauces. They have 3 barbecue sauce choices, and I did like those as well. The ham, however, it's a smoked ham. Now,
I was going to say it was ham.
it was ham. Where I would say the brisket and burnt ends were, TJ, you've been known to say middle of the road. This is better. I don't know what's slightly better than middle of the road. This is good. I thought it was good brisket and good burnt ends. The ham was ham. It was ham. So there wasn't, I don't know, you put some honey glaze on it or something. If somebody was looking for I'd like a slice of ham, it's ham. Where the brisket and the burnt ends, I think the burnt ends were sort of uniquely theirs. I haven't had a burnt end quite like that, and they were super meaty. So that was that. The baked beans were darn good. This was an above average baked bean. If the quantity of food running around my plate would have been lower, I probably would have finished these guys. They had little pieces of bacon or meat in there, which I appreciate, so they kind of made them theirs. They were super tasty. So we talked about the mac and cheese. That was a good side. And the cornbread. that came with my plate, and I think you gentlemen had a little bit as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So I looked at the cornbread and I looked at it and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this cornbread. And then I took a bite of the cornbread and I like this cornbread. I think it's good. I was worried it was going to be dry. It is not dry. It is not sopping wet either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It had a nice flavor. I thought it was some good cornbread.
Cornbread cake.
Yeah.
It was one of the nicest angel food cakes the color of corn I've ever eaten.
Did you like it?
Angel food cake?
It was not that
sweet.
spongy.
It wasn't that sweet either.
It was pretty sweet.
It was-
a little on
it was
the airy
sweeter,
side,
and it was
had,
airy.
It had almost a marshmallowy flavor
It
to
did
it,
not.
and precious little grit.
Oh, I disagree.
Did I
disagree
hate
too.
it? No. Did I
Wow.
know it was cornbread? I almost didn't.
I
I
liked
disagree.
it.
I thought this is one of my more favorite cornbreads, other than rest in peace to Stroud's. But I really enjoyed this cornbread a lot.
I like the
High
cornbread
mark,
too.
as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I went in with low biting expectations on the cornbread and came out thanking myself. It was
See, I
tasty.
thought it was good on moisture content. Definitely, that was where cornbread should be. The texture was decent. I would have liked a bit more grit in there, which I usually do in the case of cornbread. I like mine just a little on the sandy texture side, which wouldn't be that hard to change in this. But there was something about it. It was just a hint too sweet, a hint too fluffy for my liking.
Whoa, whoa. Sorry.
Oh, all right. Well, so that's 2 votes for the cornbread and 1 nonplussed. But I liked it. I would eat the cornbread again. I have met cornbread that I have set to the side and not touched.
So have I.
This one I would definitely go for again.
I ate all Marissa's, so.
Oh, nice. So you,
She's like, I don't even like cornbread. Do you want this? I said, yes, I do.
yes, please. So
Side.
Oh, okay.
Sigh.
All right. Well, that's why here at Faturday Omaha, you get 3 opinions of varying taste factors. So there we go.
Sandy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Faturday Omaha sings. Part
Always.
3, entitled No Really, Please Stop.
I like this. So there was one more meat that happened, TJ.
There was indeed. I would debate on whether or not this or the brisket was the main event for me in terms of the meats, but I liked the brisket. I really liked the ribs. Now, yeah, for ribs, were they a little bit undersmoked? Yeah, I think I will even go as far as undersmoked, whereas the brisket I went with subtle. I'm going to say just a touch undersmoked on the ribs. However, good texture, pull off the bone, not fall off the bone, but not chewy to the point of me not liking it. And I do like fall off the bone ribs. We have had this discussion. It's what a good rib should be, very moist. I couldn't tell if these were really big spare ribs or really small country ribs. I really couldn't. I was having a hard time with that. I think
They
really
weren't
big
small
spare
ribs, regardless of.
Yeah, they were pretty darn meaty. I
Yeah.
didn't mind so much the cost per bone, which was they're about $2.50 on their own, and what is it, two each?
Yeah,
when you're
$2
ordering
each
them
if
in,
you order
in the
half
rack form factor.
bulk discount for your ribs.
Yes, but they were definitely good sized. They were minimally sauced, which suits me just fine. A good sauce vehicle, a good pork flavor, just a little bit of smoke, the right amount of fattiness. I was fairly pleased with these ribs. Are they knock my socks off the best I've ever had? No. Would I order them again? Absolutely. I think this and brisket would be my 2 meats with some chips and cheese, and I'd be fairly happy here.
You just kind of summed up my approach there. Having done the 3 meat and the ribs on the side, I would do a 2 meat, brisket and ribs, and a couple of sides. We'll get to that in a little bit in the wrap up. Same thing with the, as far as the texture, from what I understand, a perfectly good, rib is not fall off the bone, rather the bone pulls out. And these definitely achieve that. They were not heavily smoked, much like the other meats. So depending on how much smoke you like in your rib, may or may not deliver for you. I thought it was tasty and not chewy. Chewy is not the right word. It was toothsome enough. Yeah, right, exactly. So I thought it was a decent chew without being a pork roast, because sometimes you get them that are just real dense. That was not the case here. And it was not falling apart either, right in the middle. Like you said, a good vehicle for sauce. You could grab that rib handle, dip it in some sauce, take a bite, and caveman that thing, and it was good. I would definitely order the ribs again when coming here. I thought they were tasty.
So that brings us to our categories, gentlemen. We have three things we like to sum this up as if we hadn't talked enough about it in depth. We like to talk about our wallets. We like to talk about the taste, and we like to talk about our tummies, how full we are. So we're going to start this off with our wallets. How do you feel about the value you got for what you spent there? So I'll kick it off as I normally do. Today, the wallet sits at minus $26.47. That includes a gratuity tip of $3.74, which, that's cool. I gave him a 20%er. How do I feel about this? I feel okay. I feel okay about this price. I did order the sandwich. The sandwich came with a side of chips with that. So the cucumber salad and the mac and cheese were a $2.99 add-on. I feel about $2.50 on there. I think that $3 neighborhood was just a little excessive, but I'm just being nitpicky. But $26.47 as a whole with tip and drink and two sides and a tank and some chips. Yeah, okay, I'm decent with that.
Well, myself over here, I got the 3-meat plate. That ran me $17.99. There is an additional charge for the brisket and burnt ends. It's an extra $1 each. And the appetizer was $8.99. The appetizer was sufficiently sized, and it's a shareable. That is definitely a shareable appetizer. The 3-meat plate, so I got the 3 meats. They were a decent portion of each. The sides were not small. They came out in smaller fry boats instead of those. I always hate those little tiny ramekins or the little styrofoam things.
Those are the worst.
Oh, I hate those. It's like I get shorted. I did not get shorted on these sides.
They're like, would you like a bite and a half of your side?
Yeah, this was like, in fact, I think there was some left.
There was some left in my cucumber salad because I was like, this is a lot of greens to get through.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese, though, I could eat a whole bowl. That's just how that works.
That's fair. And the slice of cornbread was not small. It was it was I will say 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 normal squares of cornbread. So
I'll second that.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say thumbs up here. I'm good with the price.
So I did the 3-meat as well, as we've been over, at $1 for the brisket, so that's $60.99 for that. And then Dave and I split the half rack of ribs. That one is on my bill, so that's $12.99 for that. More or less evens out with the starter. For the amount of food I wound up eating, that's about a $25 bill pre-tip. So I'm going to need about $5, maybe $6 of that back where I'm sitting. I am surprisingly comfortable. I thought that amount of food, given the number of meats involved and the appetizer and all of that jazz, that I would be hurting walking away. I was full, mildly uncomfortable at most. I thought I would fail to put all that down, but I left a couple of bites of cornbread because I didn't feel like eating the rest of it. But I could eat. So yeah, $5-6 back. I am thumbs down on wallet.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the taste of taste. Do you think the flavor profiles here were something significant? Were you excited about eating your food? Were they delicious things? We'll just keep the rotation going. I'll start first here. The tank, I explained the problems there. The sausage is an overpowering element to my sandwich. The brisket was very muted and barely noticeable. The cheese there was a good flavor. The toasted bread was nice. I wish I could have tasted a cornbread flavor with that toast. Cucumber salad was a high note, if not a little bit bitey. Mac and cheese, solid. My iced tea, let's talk about that.
They had some.
They had iced tea. Not only did they have iced tea, they also had sweet tea. Not only sweet tea, they also had lemonade. So I made myself an Arnold Palmer throughout.
Hello.
That's a scholar move.
It is.
I'm happy about that. I'm going to say I'm decent here, too. I'm okay with things. I do wish they find more proper balance in their sandwich making.
Okay.
That's all I can really say, and I wish their brisket had more of a pronounced flavor.
Got you.
But overall, I'm okay.
All right. So the mac and cheese good. I would say baked beans above average. Ham was ham. I think we've decided
I had a
that.
bite. It was ham.
It was ham. The brisket and burnt ends I think are better than some typical I think it would rank in the better Omaha brisket club. Like if they get together on a Saturday night, they could probably hang out there with them.
One of those smoke-filled room situations.
Yes, definitely. Same thing with the ribs here. So, are they my favorite barbecue place in Omaha? I will not give them that label. But as far as the taste goes, I liked it. So I'm gonna go to thumbs up. I thought everything that I had was tasty.
Certainly not thumbs down. but I'm not going to go as far as, there was nothing that really knocked my socks off. I did like some of really the cucumber salad was one of the outstanding things. Loved the chips and the cheese. By themselves, they would have been pretty darn good, maybe with a side of brisket or the ribs or something like that. I'm going to say decent. Just a dead even decent.
All right.
All right. So that brings us to the final category that we like to talk about. That is our tummies. How full are we after what we got here? Are you feeling like you Faturdayed? I personally do not. I probably could have went for another side of beef, maybe another side. I contemplated dessert, but I don't think I saw a dessert menu up there, to be honest.
You're hungry.
On to you. I'm not hungry.
Oh,
Just not satisfied.
interesting. Okay.
Like, if you wanted to go get ice cream, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But if you don't, I'm like, yeah, okay.
So I'm going to say, and I think you had mentioned that you would change your ordering strategy if you walked in again.
Without question.
I would change my ordering strategy, but slightly different and get less food. I still feel very full.
That's good.
The town that I was in when we were there, and I said I needed to invent a new town. I think it's like Recuseville. I needed to recuse myself or dismiss myself from the meal and stop eating because I was entering a very, very dangerous place. I had a lot of food.
We going through the ghettos of Hurt Town?
Oh man, there's like old fast food boxes piled up.
The mean streets of Kill Me Nowville?
Just wet naps, slightly used and thrown on the side of the road. And
I don't want to be a Liveopolis.
And so there was a half a rib. I gave away 2 slices of ham. I gave away a piece of brisket to Sam. There were some of my sides left over. Boys, I'm full. Can I? Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Like, I could kind of get ice cream if I tried, but I
don't need to do that.
Don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Full factor, a thumbs up. Get the 3-meat plate, and you will not be disappointed. No question.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
If I must give it a town or a place,
You can just give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
I'm going to say I'm frolicking in the lands of good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, thumbs. Ugh. Yeah, no, it's decent. It's exactly dead on middle.
Well, let's bring that all up now and tell them about the Frampton.
Well, the Frampton is our official Faturday Omaha scale of goodness for this particular restaurant and all our other restaurants that we talk about, and is measured from 0 to 5 in half steps only, and appearing anywhere on this scale is a good thing even at a 0.5. It's kind of like a Michelin star for your restaurant. It means we want to come back here for a Faturday, which is our very special day to go out and eat, have some food and some camaraderie, and especially because I don't eat too much during the week, I'm looking for some really good stuff on Faturday lunch. So there you go. And my friend Sam, who's sitting across the podcast table of goodness, you have another analogy here that I really like, and tell him about it.
Is this now officially known as the Pod Table of Goodness?
It is for at least today.
Okay. The way I like to break it down is this some place that I would like to take someone out of town that has come to visit the fine, fair-weathered people of Omaha, and they're like, hey, man, I'm hungry. Take me somewhere. I'd want to take them somewhere that they would remember, some place that they would go back home and rant and rave to all their friends about and be like, you know what's in Omaha, man? Check this out. That's kind of how I rate my Frampton. Now, with that being said, does not rank. To me, this is in the same neighborhood as Hog Wild. I would eat Hog Wild when I am in the need for a quick barbecue fix. Like, I don't feel like going out to spend a whole bunch of money. While it wasn't bad, terrible, bleh, anything, it's just in that same neighborhood of just okay barbecue. If I want to go on a Saturday barbecue joint, I'm going to go to a couple different places. That is not this place.
Over here, then. So, the would I bring people from out of town is always a heavy weight on here. And here's the thing. I have to give the overall because the comparatively to other barbecue spots in Omaha, I think this is a choice. So I'm going to go with a 0.5. So I have been debating on my schedule, my ranking, if you will, of how I see this overall. I think I have to rank it because the Texas poutine, the boudin balls thing sounds very interesting. and I think there's some unique possibilities here. So I kind of, I don't know. I'm really on that edge here. I'm on the fence. I could eat here if I lived in the vicinity of this place.
I would eat here too because it's one of the places like, you know what, I just want some barbecue real quick.
Yeah,
That's not a bad thing.
I would
like
go
Sam and Louie's pizza, but it's not on Faturday scale.
that's true. That's true.
I love Spaghetti Works, not on the Faturday scale.
Did I have anything here that just was face punch Faturday style? I don't know that I did. Everything was good. I enjoyed everything that I ate. I like the fun options. They have a lot of choices. The thing is okay, Porky Butts, if you're listening to this, I enjoyed every single thing you put on my plate today. I felt the value that I had for my 3 meats and my portions and everything were very good. I think I could come here on a typical day and be good here. The chips are definitely above average as well. So I think I'm going to go for the most happy not rank ever. Like, I have no problems here. I'm just not sure it is on the Faturday stage. There you go.
Like I said, I would eat here. This ranks the same places like Hog Wild. I eat Hog Wild probably once a month just because it's named in the neighborhood, it's close, and I want some barbecue.
So, good place. Friendly staff, very friendly staff. Comfortable atmosphere. Good chips and cheese. Good food overall. I would go back. 0. Not on the Faturday scale. Like I'd be willing to give it a revisit and a maybe. I will probably eat there again. I might just go in and order chips and cheese if I can do that. Or some of the starters or something. But not on the Faturday scale for me either.
I think that's the thing is like on a typical day, if I came in and got the Texas poutine and a big iced tea like for lunch,
Yeah.
I think I'd walk out real happy.
Actually, that sounds good.
You'd be fine.
Yeah,
But
I
again,
would.
it's not a place I would take people to show off barbecue in Omaha.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
wouldn't,
That's fair. I think that's a good call.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that just because you're not on the Faturday scale, it's a bad thing.
Right.
I just named 2 places I like to eat that are not Faturday worthy, in my
Correct.
opinion.
Yeah.
I
So
swear I do it once a podcast. Dragon Cafe, one of my favorite places in all of Omaha. Go there often. Love it, but not Faturday for me.
hopefully everybody listens to the end of the podcast, and what we're trying to tell you is this is good food. There was nothing wrong with any of this food in
Staff
this case.
was great.
Staff was great. Service
Food was okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's going to blow your socks off, but it's solid. It's
go
solid.
here and try it. It
Yeah,
just
do
may
that.
not be on the Faturday elite level, is what we're saying. But it's good. I would go, like you said, Sam, is on the weekday. If I was close, like I'm working close there, I'm going to go there, and I probably, I'm not going to compare it to other places. I'm just saying I would go here for lunch often if I was in
driving
the
home.
neighborhood.
They're in the neighborhood.
You betcha.
And I would pick up dinner here, bring it home, eat it, no problem.
Yes, and the food was all prepared. Food was prepared well, hot, staff friendly. Choice is good. There you go.
Lemonade, iced tea, sweet tea.
Yes.
Did I say more?
Yes, indeed. All right, gents. Anything else we need to sum up the thing?
No, I think we just summed up the thing.
Okay. Well,
Is the thing summed up for you?
It is summed up for me.
there we go. I guess that is the summary. And with that, I'm Dave.
I'm Sam.
I'm TJ.
And thanks for reading with us, and we'll see you next time.
Eat this
Bye bye.
and share this podcast with someone who's hungry.
Yes.
Faturday Omaha.
Eat this.